C-Doc again.
Hey, yes, y'all. It's Tuesday night, and we're back at it. As always, it's C-Doc again. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Got a lot to talk about, and looking forward to speaking with our esteemed guest here in a little bit. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm going to introduce my co-hosts. First up is our social media manager here at Spit Slam. Coming from the land down under, Louisville, Kentucky. Here's So Chuckified.
What is this? KY. What the hell? KY. That's all I got. I don't have a cool gang sign I can throw for Kentucky, unfortunately.
You know what? That's all you need. So it's all you got. It's all you need. It's all good, man. How you doing, bro?
I know about the Cornbread Mafia. That's all you know.
I now I need to know. What is that?
It's like the South's version of the mob.
Oh, that's great. And they name themselves after cornbread, or is that a nickname given to them by the Fuzz?
I think it's probably from the Fuzz. But yeah, I heard a funny story about, the new movie Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
Very loosely based off of a story. The Cornbread Mafia had lost a bunch of coke that was dropped.
Right.
Yeah.
And the bear was actually dead, right?
Yeah, the bear died of a heart attack.
Yeah.
but you're not going to make a movie about that.
No, it's more fun to make it Cocaine Bear and
right.
So
anyway, that was related to the Cornbread Mafia. So there you go.
Oh, that's great, Cornbread Mafia.
Yeah.
Love that. Our other co-host got her start in legendary hip hop radio, coming from the West Side. Our lady from the heyday of K-Day, Jennifer. Oh, Jenny. Throwing up the What's up?
Double
dubs. And shout out to Knack, Dre Mays, Ultra Mag, Back to the Lab, Knack. M. DeGlide in the house. Of course, Mrs. Snyder. Mrs. Snyder said she's gonna try to stay awake. She had a long day.
Don't let us keep you.
Yeah, she had a long day. Head Snack, what up, man? I just saw your text. Black or clear vinyl? We'll pose it. New Head Snack. What say ye, chat people? Black or clear vinyl for the new Head Snack record? Huh?
Clear.
All day long.
Oh, 2 for clear.
Hello, right. Dre Mays. Hello.
I just pulled out my Prophets of Rage record this week, and I didn't realize it was marbled vinyl. It's dope looking.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's red and black. It's sick.
You know what? I have that album too, and I've never opened it.
There is, I think, a company that's doing the marbled. I don't know.
Yeah. There might be a couple. I'm not sure.
We're about to see it.
Well,
and hello, Ultra Mag, and Back to the Lab. Hello.
Hype style.
Pretty good. You can't really see the marbling because of the light.
No, you can't.
Because of the light, yeah.
Yeah, but it's...
shit, I'll have to pull that out.
Yeah, it's pretty slick.
Dale D. I haven't heard that record in a while, man.
So good.
I haven't heard it in a while. Not since actually I worked on the videos for it.
Not since I worked on the videos.
Right.
Okay. All right.
He's living the dream we all... Oh, wow. The double birds.
Nah, living the dream. That video was hell, man. And the second one they didn't even use. So how about that?
There you go. The Chief, right?
I did Hail the Chief, and I also did Legalize Me, and they didn't use it.
Really?
The band wanted to use it. The record company vetoed it, and they put out some bullshit video that didn't really make much sense.
Hail to the Chief is... Oh, my God, dude. That is so good. That video...
That video almost broke me, man. That video almost broke me.
I'm going to drop that in the chat for people if they haven't seen it.
There you go. I haven't seen it in a while either. I just remember I was up. I was up for 24 hours straight trying to finish it, and it was like 4 a.m, and I was like, "Make it stop! I can't do it anymore." I'm like, "But I'm so close."
6 a.m, police at my door.
That's what it felt like. I was hallucinating and shit. So, but yeah, okay. So we were just talking before we started the show about
We were so rudely interrupted.
yeah,
having to do a show.
I guess we got to start the show. We're talking about the Hip Hop 50 at the Grammys. Hip Hop 50 at the Grammys.
What did everybody think?
Yeah, what did everybody think? I thought it was extremely impressive to pull that amount of talent together and for that how long was it, Jen? Like 13 minutes?
13 minutes, I think.
13 minutes, man. That was yeah, that was quite the display. So if you haven't seen it, try to catch it. I think it's starting to get out onto the YouTubes.
But then again, if you've seen Mellie Mel without a shirt on, which we all have,
yes, you'll see it again. Yes. What? Hey, what was Mel's mic off?
I don't. Of all the weird things that were going on, I don't know.
I kind of think it was, but I'm not sure. Let's ask our other co-host. Maybe he noticed he has some insight. The president of Rap Station Radio and the man behind Hip Hop Guys, ladies and gentlemen, Flatline.
Boom, bam.
What?
Excuse me. My goodness.
Yes. What are we drinking this evening, fine sir?
Oh man, I got some. What is that? Tullamore Dew. It's aged in rum barrels.
Ooh.
I treated myself.
I guess so.
What is
good.
that?
It's whiskey.
So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Flatline, did you see the Hip Hop 50 performance?
I did. Yep.
Was Mel's mic off?
Was Mel's mic off?
I noticed they cut Flav's mic like that. They were like, okay,
They
they're
did.
done.
Yeah.
And Flav had more to say. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and watch.
Yeah.
It's not
Next
something
time you see it, take a look.
Yeah.
Because I think it was for some reason. It just seemed like there was a point where it looked like he was, but it was a wide shot, and like I was waiting for to hear something, but I didn't. I'm like, wait a minute, it's Mel's?
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. They cut off Flav in the middle of his "Yo Chuck," rant. And
Right.
What did you think about Buster? Well, Buster was Buster.
Buster was Buster.
Oh, he
Yes,
just
indeed.
destroys. It's just like, yeah.
So I've
what?
not seen it, but they have was 50 hanging upside down doing like sit-ups on a bar.
Yes, and they did not televise that part. And he thought he was going to be on the. They said, "Hey, Fitty, go to this garage and hang upside down and do your pull-ups, and we'll put you on the show." Wink, wink.
Right.
Well, I understand that you can't please everybody, and everybody immediately started in with, "Oh my God, it wasn't everybody." Well, how in the hell could you have possibly pulled off everybody? But I understand that Will Smith was supposed to show up, but he's filming
Bad Boys 4.
Bad Boys 4. Thank you.
Yes.
And so, and he just couldn't do it.
Right.
I understand that Ice-T didn't want really to do it. And
Yes,
Quest talked him to it
a little extra convincing.
because it was, too much of a trip and whatever. And he's filming.
I heard this. Lil Wayne was there for the rehearsal, but he backed out at the last moment, and I don't know why. So,
Well, but he showed up at that, whatever that was at the end.
yeah. Was he at the end?
Yeah, with Khaled
Is that what Dre Mays is talking about?
Oh,
Dre
the end of
Mays
the
is- What are you
tribute
thinking about the tail end of the tribute? Yeah.
when they had the
no, the Jay-Z, Khaled, Lil
and
Wayne,
Wayne.
whoever else was there
I went to
at
bed.
the end.
Oh,
Okay.
they bring Birdman out.
It was it was
Oh shoot!
I understand Quavo and Offset were in back having a fight.
Yeah.
I understand that I don't get, De La Soul's going to be here. Well, here's pasta news.
Yeah.
And Eric B and Rakim. Well, how about just Rakim?
Well, in all fairness, what was Eric going to do? Stand there?
Right. Exactly.
Well, I wasn't going to say it, but thank you, C-Doc.
They're not on the best of terms anyway.
And Rakim didn't really look like he was feeling it.
No, he did his piece and
But the weirdest thing ever was watching Run DMC. Exactly, Ghetto Boys, but only Scarface was there.
which I thought was strange, and I can elaborate later on. But
Yeah, Willie D was not happy about that.
Yeah. Well, and the funniest thing to me was Run DMC and watching Run mouthing the words and looking thoroughly confused.
Yeah, well, I think there may have been a bit of a sound issue because a couple of them were rushed over the beat. I don't think they could quite hear the beat. Run came in rushed. Chuck came in a little rushed at the beginning, but he found it pretty quick. So you know what? We could ask our esteemed guest. Maybe he saw it. We'll see if Mellie Mel did want to see Willie.
He's backstage going like this. Yeah, bring me on. I got something to say.
Willie ain't nothing but a bald-headed hoe.
Wow.
Well, let's bring tonight's guest on because he's in the waiting room. A guy that a lyricist, been around for many years. Got to start with the legendary Intoxicated Demons. Yes, you, Al. Yes, you. The Intoxicated Demons in the house, y'all. Reign of the Tech, the Beatnuts. Worked on. Well, we're gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna spoil it all in the intro. All right, let's bring him on, ladies and gentlemen. Cool ass, the artist formerly known as Cool Ass Fash, ladies and gentlemen, Al'Tariq.
What's up,
Yeah.
What's up, bro? Yeah.
Woo! I saw the young lady clapping for me. Thank you very much.
Oh, of course.
Very much.
Of course.
What's going on, man?
Oh, nothing. Just did you get to see the Hip Hop 50?
I did. I saw it. I was happy about it. I was kind of like, I don't know. I felt like they could have had some more people on there, but I guess it was, they could only get who they can get on there.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the performances. I enjoyed it. It was some people that seemed like they didn't have the sound all coordinated and everything. Run was looking a little, where the hell am I?
Thank you. Thank you. Right. Did you catch when they first, whoever was before them, and they shot the camera and you could see Run like yelling at D, and then next thing I know, he's mouthing the words, and I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. They were I saw a couple of people that were running through their rhymes. Ghetto Boys, he I said Ghetto Boys.
Scarface.
Help me out. Scarface, yeah. Scarface was like, that song is not that fast, but I guess they had to keep it, have it a little sped up to keep it the pace of everything else.
Yeah.
I saw Willie D's thing where he was like, "Yo, how in the hell are they gonna perform that song and not have me up there from here?" You know, Ghetto Boys is more than just Scar. Rakim looked a little rushed too, like he was, it was a little fast.
Yeah.
But all in all, I was happy about it, man. The baby seemed a little out of place. The song was real slow compared to everything else.
Yeah.
But they had to have him up there. He's a big star and he's in the moment right now. So, but
Yeah.
I was pleased, man, with what I saw. I was happy they had the locks up there. I wasn't expecting that.
I didn't expect that either.
I wasn't expecting that at all. For to have the artists they had up there, everybody was pretty big, and I guess the Locks have sold some records, but I don't always look at them in that same. I wouldn't always put them with those artists that were up there. Those artists was like history. Like you can't tell a story of rap without these artists right here. But I was real happy to see them, man. I enjoyed it. Definitely.
Most shocking thing to me was seeing Mellie Mel without a shirt.
When did you see Mellie with a shirt on?
Yeah, that would be shocking. Yeah.
I'm totally being facetious. I was shocked that Mellie Mel was not wearing a shirt.
Yeah. I was in Detroit when they were doing that. What was that? Well, the Art of Rap tour, and afterwards, because I went up to Chuck and I were shooting a video, and afterwards, Marcus and I went to like a Fridays or Applebee's or something like that, and Mel came in with a shirt on. I didn't recognize him. I was like, "Wait, who is that? That guy looks familiar." And I was like, "Oh, it's Mel." Yeah.
So he's so big, it makes him look so short, man.
Yeah.
My son was looking at he's like, "Yo, who's that little short dude, man?" I say he has no idea who Mellie Mel is. He's a 6-year-old kid. But yeah, it was good though, man. I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I think they really killed it, and I love that last song that they played. I don't know if you guys probably not into it, but I have kids that are. My youngest is 16. I have a 17-year-old, an 18-year-old, and so the last Uzi Vert song, that's like one of my joints right now. I love that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Don't beat me up over that, please.
No, hey,
we gotta like Little Uzi Vert because isn't that Prince Paul's son who's his DJ?
Oh, P for real?
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, that's deep. That's good. And he's
Little Uzi Vert. Yeah, I think that's Prince Paul's son.
Yeah,
is the DJ. Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope.
Uzi Vert. Yep. Yes. Yeah. Hype style remembers. Yeah, you were there, right? Hype and
at Applebee's.
At
saw
Applebee's.
Mellie Mel.
So bizarre, man. Never would have expected that. But anyway, all right. So anyway, yes, let's get into it.
Good. What's good?
You had you had some interesting classmates, I think, in school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
well, I had one very interesting classmate.
Yeah.
Very interesting classmate. James Todd Smith.
Right.
Yeah. He
never heard of him.
We went to this little school that's now been raised. It's Christopher Robin's Academy, and if you look up the history of the school, it's like an incredible school as far as like the people that attended the school, and it was like, pay to play. You pay to go to. They had a lot of basketball players that went to the school. It was like you go there to get your grades. A lot of times you didn't even have to show up, and before that whole rash of ball players and stuff went there, we had a bunch of talented people. Myself, LL was in the school. We had a guy named Haley Williams who went on to like sing on Broadway. We had Bryce Wilson from Groove Theory. He went there the year after I left. The original Cut Creator was in the school. I believe Pam Pam. I don't want to call her. I don't want to say her name wrong, but Pam from Martin.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah, she attended the school. So we had a lot. We had a lot of artists that went there. Some real famous, some well-known artists that went to the school. Some other people that were real talented too that just didn't, make it. Didn't have too much fame, but
Yeah.
it was a dope place, man. It was dope being in school with Jay. He was one of my classmates, and what you see, and I tell people it's funny because what you see of Jay now is really who he is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is who he was back then. It's weird because I look at the people that I was around. Like, I was around a lot of people being in the game and all this stuff, but people that I like made some type of connection to. LL being one. Before I was in the music, he got in before I did. Um, I look at him and I look at Ye, right? And they had a lot of similarities, man. So much stuff was alike with them. It's just that I guess Jay had this thing where he knew how far to take it. But as far as like you tell them they knew they were going to be famous. They knew they were going to be stars and, all of that. The same thing with Ye. He's the same way he was when I met him as a 19-year-old kid that he is right now. It really is different. Nothing has changed with him. Except that he's super rich and, he can really say whatever the hell he wants.
Right.
But,
right.
Same deal, man. The same deal, for real. But yeah, it was dope really going to school with this dude. Me and Jay. Yeah, Jay was a wild boy, man. He was a wild boy, for real.
So you started as a DJ?
No, I started.
Oh, okay.
DJs. I started around DJs. My mentor is Dr. Butcher. Jazzy Drewski, MC, DJ, extraordinaire, who mentored like a few of the executioners, Rob Swift, DJ, Mr. Sinister, he was their mentor. Those are the guys, Cut Creator, the real, the original Cut Creator, Philip Jean Remy was a guy too. But really Drew Butcher was like my mentor that, he was incredible as an MC. An incredible MC. He was in a group with LL. As a matter of fact, they were in a group together before Jay, made it big and everything.
Right.
And he just taught me everything about the game. Breaking down people's rhymes. Just knowing the history of our genre and respecting it. Really listening to people and knowing where they were coming from, what they were saying. He's the one that got me into subliminals. Like, yo, this person's talking about him. Listen to this. Like, oh shit, I never really realized that. Yo. Oh. I remember when Jay Jay has this song 1-800. Oh damn, it's on I think the Bigger and Deffer album. And 1-800, damn, what is it called? 1-800.
Oh, it's
1-800 LL Cool J.
Yeah, maybe it's 1-800. I wanted to say that, but I was like, that's not it.
No, it's from Walking with the Panther.
Walking with a Panther, exactly. Walking with the Panther, and we were listening to that when it came out because this is a time when records would come out and it was no YouTube, no nothing. You would buy the record, you knew it was coming out, you go get it, and then we'll sit and we'll break down every piece of the song.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we're listening to that and we're listening to it, and he's like, "Yo, listen to Jay talking about Slick Rick." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Listen to it, man. When he's saying all this stuff, I got your gold teeth marks all over my dick." Excuse my French.
Right.
But, we have a lady in the room. I'm so sorry.
I have no idea what my ears
Jen came up around NWA and Ice-T and all those guys, so she's
I can't say anything wrong yet.
My ears are burning. I can't.
Yeah, but it was just real dope, man. It was just real dope. Coming up around that stuff. Being schooled the right way. Being around G-Rap before G-Rap was out. Seeing MC Shan perform like his first shows. Being in Queens and all that type of stuff. It was just crazy, man. It was crazy. A lot of people I was around, a lot of things I saw. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff that I wouldn't dare talk about because it's behind the scenes. It's like other people's business, but like you're privy to it because you're in the neighborhoods, you're around these people, you're seeing this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But crazy, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
So how did you end up linking up with the Beatnuts, or the men who would later become the Beatnuts?
Well, what happened was, Jew and I went to school together. We went to the school called Newtown High School together. And we weren't cool though, because at the time when I was in the school, there was like real street wars between the black kids and the Hispanic kids. Really the Dominicans. And I mean, it was wars. It was like people getting razor sliced up, people getting jumped, and it was a regular thing. But I really wasn't involved with it because I have, Hispanic background too. My mother being Cuban and having Cuban and Puerto Rican heritage and all that stuff. And I was cool with everybody. Cool, you know what I'm saying, at all, but I knew who he was, and I had heard the stories about, that kid right there is down with the Jungle Brothers. He'd be around these dudes, and at that time, you talking about late 80s, Jungle Brothers were, big for us, especially in New York, and hearing that he was down with, Tribe before Tribe, really made it, but they were just coming out, you know what I'm saying, Left on Wanted, El Segundo and all that stuff.
Right.
And then, I believe what happened was I was recording with some guys that were some street dudes, with drug money, put me in the studio, bringing me around people. And I hooked up with this guy named D'Anthony, who was like a sort of like a loose member of the Flavor Unit.
Okay.
He would bring talent around him and do stuff like that. So to him, I was like his thing, like, yo, you gonna, you know what I'm saying? I was writing movies at the time, doing scripts and acting and all that stuff. So he was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make it with you, you know what I mean? So we had gone to Big Beat Records. I don't know if you recall this. And we met somebody there. Now I'm young. I'm 18, 19 years old. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. This is one thing I can say about my whole career, especially in my younger days, man. I was so much into girls and playing basketball and all that stuff. My music career was really like a second thing to me, man. I really, I loved performing.
Yeah.
And what the performing got me. I didn't think about money.
Right.
So I got jerked so much in my music career. I got beat out of so much money because I was not focused on that shit at all. So, going to this, this meeting at Big Beats, it was just like I was thinking about what was gonna come of that. Yo, I'm gonna get that girl and this girl, you know what I'm saying? That's where my mind was at, honestly. So I happened to tell so let me bring it back. A fella, Juju and Les, met each other in this school, a satellite school. That's for kids that are like kind of, I don't want to, they're not dumb, because Juju was definitely not a dumb dude at all. But they were like, satellite schools were like schools when you couldn't make it in regular high school.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, you're absent all the time, you're fucking up, whatever the case may be. So Drew and Les met like that, and they used to battle each other. This is before they were a group. They used to battle each other, bringing beats every day, beats who had the better beats. And yeah, and then a kid that was like my family. I used to basically live in his house, named Ronnie Walters. Ronnie went to school with them. And Ronnie used to hear them battle every day. He's like, yo, y'all should fuck with my cousin. My cousin is crazy and rhyming. Y'all should fuck with him. So he brought Juju around one day. And Juju's like, oh, I know this dude. I seen him in high school, at Newtown, whatever. And I'm like, I seen you. And I spit this rhyme to him. And it was totally different from what you heard me do on Beatnut shit. I was rhyming a totally different way. I actually changed my style to try to fit in with the whole native tongue shit. You know what I'm saying? I changed everything up, and it fucked me up for years. But he heard it, and he was like, yo, sign this man up. He was like, sign him up. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I got this deal that might be happening with Big Beats. They want to give me like $50,000. And I thought that was a big deal. You know what I'm saying? He was like, what? He was like, yo, fuck that deal, man. I'm going to get you like $250,000. And I'm like, what? $250? I'm like, yo, I'm in. So I stopped. I just cold, you know what they would say now is ghosting. I just ghosted D'Anthony and everybody over here. Everybody I was dealing with. Started recording at Juju's house, man. Started recording the demo tape, and then and I hope I'm not getting ahead of myself, but then Jew and Les were recording with Chris Lighty. And they were doing a project. And I really wasn't on it. I just knew that they were doing a project. And it was like, yeah, my boys is over here. You know, I didn't even know who Baby Chris was. You know what I'm saying? I just knew that they were in the studio, you know, producing for some kid that, you know, was going to come out. He was a part of the whole Native Tongue thing. Now, you got to remember, Native Tongue was it was in the infant stages at that time.
Right.
So I remember they came to my cousin's house one day, the kid Ronnie, and we were outside. I met them outside, and I'm like, yo, what's up, y'all? What's over there? Yeah, we doing whatever. So Les goes to me, yo, we used In My Room. That was one of my demo tracks.
Right.
I was like, you used In My Room? And I was like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever y'all got to do to get on. You know what I'm saying? We'll find another beat to those rhymes. You know, we'll make another beat to that song. And then Les goes to me, man. He goes, this is so crazy. This is how I got in the game. Les goes to me. He said, yo, we ain't only used the beat. We used your rhymes, too. We gave the kid Chi Ali your rhymes.
Oh, man.
He said, Juju gave him your rhymes. And I said, what? I looked at Ju. I was like, yo, how you get this nigga my rhymes, man? And Juju looked at me without skipping a beat. He's like, yo, you ain't copyright them shits.
Wow.
I was like, what? And I was ready to flip. But something like, yo, chill. You know what I'm saying? Chill. So Les was like, yo, don't even worry about it. I'm going to take you to meet Chris like tomorrow. And like maybe a day or two later, he took me to meet Chris Lighty. Chris was like, yo, I didn't know that those were your songs. I didn't know that, you know, you didn't want nobody to use them. Why don't you come in here and write for Chi Ali? You know, and I'll pay you. And you know, I'm not like that. You know what I'm saying? I would never steal nobody's shit. So that was it right there.
Did you get publishing at least for that?
Yeah, somewhat.
Okay.
Like I got a few dollars, man.
Yeah.
It was the big thing in me at that time. It was like maybe $7,500 for
So
writing.
that's a big fat no.
Yeah.
Did you get no?
I wasn't about my business at that time, man.
Yeah.
At all. You know, I signed contracts that I look back at them today. Like just recently, I had challenged Sony on you know, about getting my publishing and all this stuff, and you know, with this company that collects for you, and Sony had to either send me my contracts and show that they, you know, still had a part of it, or I would actually own the first two projects. I would own everything from the Intoxicated Demons and the street level thing.
Oh,
but they sent me my contract. They sent the contract like, yeah, we have it. You know, you only get X amount of, you know, percentage of it, and it's not yours to do whatever you want to do with. So and I looked at that contract, man, because they sent me the whole shit. It's like fucking 200 pages or some shit. 100 pages is crazy, bro. It's crazy. And I'm like, yo, I fucking signed this shit, man. And you see the word perpetuity.
I had no clue.
Yeah, you see the word perpetuity throughout.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they got you. Like, yo, you're not going nowhere, bro. I don't care what happens. You could be 1,000,000 years old and we still own your intellectual property forever.
Yep.
You know? Crazy.
Yep.
Crazy.
Gangsters.
Yeah, they are gangsters. They real gangsters, for real.
Yep.
For real.
Okay, so the Chi Ali record comes out, and you
shout out to Chi.
Yep. And Baby Chris says, was he the one that was the catalyst for putting you guys together as a group as the Beatnuts?
No, what happened was I did a song on that album called Let the Horns Blow.
Right.
Myself, Fife, Dress from Black Sheep, Fife from Tribe Called Quest, God bless the dead. Paz, I believe, or Dove from Dayline.
Yeah, I think Dove's on it.
Yeah, Dove and myself, right? So, Relativity, Alan Grunblatt. and I forget the other gentleman's name who was in charge with him at the time, but Alan and this gentleman heard it, and they're like, you know, they were really hyped about the Chi album. And they were like, yo, you know, who's this other kid right here? Because, you know, I was doing that fiddly fee, fiddly five, fiddly four, fiddly fum. And nobody was doing nothing like that at the time. You know what I'm saying? This was me trying to find myself, trying to fit in with the whole native tongue thing. I was like, I got to do something different. I got to be, you know, weird and different like they are. You know what I'm saying? So I was trying. So I did that. And they were like, who is this dude? And I wasn't at the meeting, but I know Stan Chiali's father, Stan Griffin, was there. Chris and them were there, and what happened was Chris was like, yo, that's fashion, you know, he rhymes with the Beatnuts, and it was like, yo, the Beatnuts have MC, they're a group. It was like, nah, they're not really a group, that's like they're, you know, that's like the rapper from them and all that, you know what I'm saying? He's been writing a lot of Chi Ali stuff, so it was like, yo, we're gonna give them a deal.
Wow. And
that's the way we got as artists and not just producers. So when we first started the EP was my solo album, but I had to go away to jail. I had a sealed indictment in Westchester. I was, you know, an idiot, and I was out in the street selling drugs. No need to, but I was doing it just for the allure of the streets and being down, all that shit. And I caught a sealed indictment, and I had to go away for a year. So when I went away, they had to finish the project. So a lot of stuff that we had done never even was heard. It's never been heard. I haven't even heard a lot of the stuff that we did. Yeah.
Wow.
My solo album. And that became that right there.
Exactly. Oh, wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Exactly. That's why you hear me with joints by myself on Third of the Trio.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was one of the ones they took, and we you know, they put it on that joint. But, you know, it was all meant to happen, man. It was all meant to happen because, like I said, you know, I wasn't trying to be like the best MC. And I think in order to succeed in anything you do, you know, anybody that becomes great is trying to be the best.
Yeah.
And I wasn't thinking about that shit, man. I was thinking about when are y'all due to pay me some money? And when am I gonna go chill with these chicks and hang out and have, you know, street notoriety and all that type of shit? That's what I was thinking about, man. So I really wasn't, you know, putting stuff together. And then I had kind of lost myself at that time too, you know, going from what I was as an MC to, you know, I was around G-Rap and Butcher and Jay, you know what I'm saying? That has nothing to do, it's totally different from the whole native tongue thing, you know what I'm saying? Right. So I was coming from that type of rhyming, and then trying to fit in, you know, with this whole thing. I thought I had to fit in. I could have just been myself, but at the time, being a young kid, then you know, our whole collective was kind of broken up because there was still that underlying thing of like Black and Spanish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was going on. It was a lot of dynamics that really, we weren't just a cohesive unit at all, man. We weren't a cohesive at all. But we made good music together, though.
Hell yes.
When we did shit, we made some, you know, some pretty, you know, fly shit together, man.
Hell yes. Because, well, I'll get to it in a minute. But when you went away, did that have a big impact on you for when you came home, or was it just something like, I got to do this and then kind of move on with my life?
No, well, I'm gonna tell you, and you know, it's experience. You know, at the time, I was like drugging and bugging, as we would call it. You know what I'm saying? I was getting high every day. You know what I'm saying? I was like selling crack and coke and sniffing so much coke, like Richard Pryor would say, I snorted up Peru.
Right.
I snorted up Peru. I was like wilding. So it was like I had a chance to take a break from all of that shit, man. You know, from that street life, because I was really into that. You know what I'm saying? I was into that, you know, playing ball, you know, getting money and all that shit. So when I went away, it was like, you know, really my focus was, you know, I'm going to clean myself up because I ain't come from that shit, you know, but I was down in the hood in Peekskill. Meanwhile, my mother's living up in Society Hills, you know, in this house and all this stuff. You know, I went to private school as a young kid, you know, all, you know, skip grades in school. That wasn't really me. It was just me wanting to be down, me seeing that shit like this is what it is, you know what I'm saying? And girls and, you know, being hood famous and all that shit. So when I went away, you know, it did make me focus on like, yo, when I get out, I'm gonna do this rap shit for real, because I had already signed my deal before I went away. So, but I still didn't, you know, it still wasn't a thing of like I'm gonna come home and be the best. It wasn't anything like that. It was like I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna really do my rap shit so I could be, you know, go on tour and get money and, you know, not even really get money because I wasn't even. It's crazy.
Damn girls again.
Yeah. It really chicks. Look, let me tell you something. Let me tell you how much it was chicks. All right. Right now I have 9 daughters and 5 sons.
Wow.
So this is what it
So
was.
all those girls he was looking for, he found them.
Yes,
He found their asses.
Yeah.
In a big way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
For real, man.
He puts Daddy-O to shame. Holy
Yeah,
crap.
right?
Daddy-O has a bunch of kids?
Oh.
Oh boy.
9? 8 or 9?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I you know, that was another thing for me. I made sure that you know, I stopped rhyming to be a father to my kids, and like I did a tour with the Beatnuts in 2000, and when I came home, I was like, yo, you know, I gotta be with my kids, man. I gotta be around kids because you know it's a lot of different baby mamas and all that. So I had to make sure that my kids knew one another. They had, you know, they looked at themselves as a collective and not just like that's my half brother or my step brother or this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I didn't allow those words, and I brought them all together as a cohesive unit, and they're all super tight right now, man. Super tight.
That's great.
You gotta be if you gotta be Nick Cannon up in this bitch.
I got Nick, but yeah, man. I went you know, became a 9-to-5 dude, blue collar, and yeah, just focused on them, man. That just became my world, man. To be honest with you.
Nah, that's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
You know,
I don't do it for the applause. I do it because it was something that I had to do. It was
exactly, and
I had to get that shit right, man.
That's it. You know, more people need to do that. So
yeah.
You know, but hey, we can only take care of us.
Yeah,
an hour. So
you know it.
But getting back to fantastic music, you came home, get back with Juju and Les, and made one of my just all-time favorite records ever.
Oh, man, I love that album, man.
I mean,
here we go. Let the games begin.
Yeah, no, this record is perfection.
It is.
Thank you, man.
It is.
Thank you.
That's a special one.
Yeah. I mean, like 94 when this came out, this was in constant rotation all year. 94, 95.
Yep.
Oh man.
So what? Talk about recording this record.
Crazy. It was crazy. I was just talking to Vic because I talk to Vic a lot. VRC the Mighty. We talk, you know, pretty regularly, and we were just talking about some days and some things because there were other artists recording at we were at Soundtrack Studios doing most of the album, and we were just talking about an incident with Heavy D and his whole crew being in the studio the other day, man. I just remember so much stuff with that album, man. You know, I kind of got focused on that album, but I still was a little bit lost with, you know, my identity, like who I was with rhyming and all that type of stuff. So, like, when I go back and listen, you know, I listen to stuff and I'm like, damn, I could have been better on that. I could have been better. I could have rewrote. I could have, you know, really done. Because I remember one time Peter King, who was our A&R, he later became my manager and all that. But Peter Kang was like, he said, yo, y'all, you talking so much subliminal stuff. It's stuff that means something to you in the group or to you and your people around you, but it's not going to mean anything to people out in the world. And I was like, man, I don't give a fuck about that. Fuck. They'll catch it or they won't catch it. It don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? But I loved everything about. I'm gonna tell you the only thing I didn't like about it, man. The only thing that, and I've come to like, go a little easier and change my opinion a little bit over the last few years because I've heard the reaction from fans. But Props Over Here was not on the album.
Oh.
Relativity felt like we needed a single. This is the time when labels started being like, yo, you need a radio. You need something for the radio.
Yeah.
We were like, got 50 million things for the radio. You know what I'm saying? We would pop the trunk, hit the deck, fuck, drink beer, smoke some shit.
Right.
What do you want? You know what I'm saying? And at the time, 93 Into Infinity was out. Farside had She Keeps On Passing Me By. So all the stuff that they heard on the album, they was like, yo, this shit is not gonna, it's not gonna, crack radio. And we were like, yes, it is. So they kind of like forced our hand. We had to do Props, which is so like contrived, like, yeah, you get props over here. I was like, yo, my God. But we did it. And then we still were like dead set against that being the first single. And I remember us being in when Tony had bought Relativity at the time, and we were up in their offices, and we were in a room with Alan and all these people in the room. And I don't know if Chris was there. I think Chris was there. And he was like, yo, y'all got to do Props as your first single. And we're like, what? You with your Don't Stop, Hit Me With That, and this, and we naming all these songs. Like, how is that going to be our first single? And he's like, yo, I let Tip hear the album, and Tip thinks that's your first single too. And I'm like, hell no. So he calls Q-Tip. And he's like, yo, what's the first single you think for them? And he's like, yo, that Props joint, man. And I'm like, oh man, I feel like Tip was kind of sabotaging us because he and I were going back and forth on some subliminal shit for a little while. Like they have some records where they're talking about me, some of their big hits.
Really?
Yeah, where he's like, I don't know if he'll admit it now, but we had some back and forth shit over some dumb shit, man. I was a huge fan of Tribe. A huge. I still am. I love those first 3 albums. Like those are like gifts from God, like manna, crazy. And I remember Juju. We were out one night. I met him at this club in Lower Manhattan, and he said, "Yo, I played Tip. I had this song called Nikki the Sensational." And he was like, yo, I played it for Tip. And Tip said, the beat is good, but the MC is garbage. Now, I don't know if even Tip said that because we never even got a chance to talk about it.
Right.
Like, what? I was like, yo, I'm dissing that nigga. I'm dissing him. I was subliminally talking shit about the whole native tongues on a lot of shit. Or no, I'm talking about like Busta and Tip and all that shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So when he says, I could give a damn about an ill subliminal. Stay away from Crown, so I ain't no criminal.
Yeah.
This is you know what I'm saying? Wow. Yeah. This is a fast thing. Busta, you know what I mean? When he's saying what he's saying on Scenario and all that shit, like I said, I don't know if they'll admit to it right now, but time we all knew what was going on. You know what I'm saying? I even changed my rhymes on Let the Horns Blow because I was saying some shit about De La.
Oh,
word, man. It was because somebody was putting a battery in my back. Juju was like, this battery in my back. You know what I'm saying? And then I remember one day we went to and I'm all over the place with this, but we went to me, Ju, and Les went one night, and Tip was editing the
Oh, check the rhyme.
Check the rhymes. He was editing. It was either that or Can I Kick It? He was editing the video.
Okay.
We get to the studio and I'm like hype, you know, even though I'm doing all this little subliminal listen, you know what I'm saying? Like if you listen to Third of True, I say so smooth on the horns. I was the real butter, baby. Yeah,
right.
Back and forth with shit. Yeah. So I know the studio and I didn't want to have no beef with them. Trust me, I didn't want to have no beef. I was a super duper fan, man.
Right.
A super fan. Like me and my friends would get together and we would play the whole fucking Low End Theory album from front to back, drinking and getting high, and everybody singing along with the rhymes and all of that shit. So I really didn't have no beef with them. It was just that thing of like the battery in my back, like, yo, the nigga said you suck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I sound like I'll burn this dude, man. I'll burn all of them. You know what I'm saying?
But
And
that's the same dude that gave away your rhymes. So
yeah, exactly. So we went to the studio and they're editing the video, and we sitting there, Tips with a girl. I'll never forget this. And Juju's like, "Yo, why don't you tell Q-Tip what you were saying about him right now?" And me and Les looked at each other like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Yo," I wanted to be like, "Yo, you the fucking motherfucker that started this whole shit."
Yeah.
You said better than that. But I didn't say nothing, man. I ain't even say shit, man. I ain't say nothing. If Fife actually dissed me too. Fife talked some shit about me and Les on the joint when he says, some I could tell you this much, riding on the train with no dough sucks. Because I remember when all coming out of Calliope, and Fife was like, "What y'all going to do?" We was like, "Yo, we about to hop the train, nigga. We ain't got no money, you know what I'm saying? We about to hop the train and get back to Queens." And he was like, "Damn, yo, you know, whatever." And we pieced it up and we left. And then I heard him say that line, like, something
Damn.
I didn't go sucks. And I was like, yo. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. I actually felt like it was like a, you know, I didn't take it as a bad thing.
Right.
You know, I felt sort of like, you know, like, yo, they talking about me.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
They talking
You were
about
on the
me.
radar. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't take it like that. But yeah, we did that. I thought Tip was I was like, yo, Tip is trying to sabotage us putting that song out. There's no way he's hearing the whole album. He's picking props over here. There's no way. But we put it out, man, and you know, it did what it did, man. But I'm gonna tell you, knowing how energy is now, and knowing how what you think about, you bring about. When we did that song, Les and I, because Juju didn't hardly tour with us at all during that time.
Okay.
It was myself, Les, Rickman, you know, Sinister, E. Kim was our DJ at one point in time, and we had so much negative energy on that song. We used to hate to perform it. We hated to hear it. When we used to go in the store to do the, you know, like you get to a city, you go in the store, you do radio. So you do the record stores, you sign autograph. And as soon as we would come in, it would be boom, da-doom, da-doom, da-doom. You know, y'all playing this shit, man. Play the Props remix. Play anything. Don't play this fucking song. So I feel like we kind of fucked ourselves over with that, because we were putting so much negative energy on that song that we didn't realize. Like I realized, you know, years later, like fans really liked that song. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that was the song. Bro, I'm sitting on the couch at home. I got home from work, and for some reason, like, because I didn't usually do this, but for some reason I had the boombox out. And I was living in Ohio, and I put on the Akron radio station because they had the dope hip hop show, right?
You from Akron?
No, I was living in Canton at the time.
Oh, all right.
Okay, but I would listen to the ZAK in Cleveland, or no, ZAK was in Akron. Well, yeah, and then the Cleveland radio station, they would have the hip hop shows, but the one in Akron was the better show, and so I put it on. And I'm like, I'm just going to listen to the radio or whatever because it's Saturday night. I got shit to do. And they're playing House of Pain. And I was like, oh, okay, word. And then this song comes on and the bass line comes on. I'm like, yo, what is this? This shit is ill as fuck. And I didn't realize it was you guys. I didn't realize it was you. And the DJ was just playing a bunch of shit in a row. So like he didn't say what the records were. 2 weeks later, my homie Tirade shows up because we'd always, anytime we go to the record store, we meet up with each other and be like, yo, cop this. He's like, yo, I got this. I'm like, oh, word? I'm like, how is it? He goes, it's fucking dope. It's crazy. You're gonna love it. He puts in the CD. Props Over Here comes on. I'm like, yo, this is the joint I just heard on the radio. Like, I ran to the store, bought the CD, instant, and that was just that's just one of the illest bass lines. And it's so funny you guys hate the record or hated the record, but
and we were like so down on that record. I think it was, like I said, it was a different feeling, a different tone than what everything else was on the album. If you listen to it though, it's not like anything else on the album. It stands alone for me. It still stands alone. It's still like that song and then everything else that we did, the other 17 tracks or whatever, but I've come to appreciate it. Really appreciate it, and it's because of people like yourself who tell me, nah, that shit was dope, man. That's dope. The person was dope, whatever. So I'm like, hey, maybe I'm wrong in this situation. Everybody else is right.
No, man, you can, you were there, you went through it, you made it, and you had the experience with it. So you're going to have your own take on it. But like coming from somebody who's just a fan, that once you hear that, and when I've heard the original track where the bass line came from, I was like, oh, I'm like, how the fuck did they find this shit? Because it's like very deep in that joint.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I heard it, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. But yo, man, it's just, from us, from the fans, we got to thank you because that record is crazy.
I think, I'm glad that y'all enjoyed that joint, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. I'm so glad. So now, even more, so then in the, back in the day, I'm really appreciative of the love that I get, for that joint.
I don't think that's terribly unusual because I know that there's several people who have always said, whatever the big song on somebody's record is, that's their like least favorite one.
Yeah, it happens like
and
that.
Sometimes I think it's maybe because you're a little bit too close to it.
That could be. Yeah.
Or just going through the recording process. I know that Chuck told me there's a couple of Public Enemy songs he can't stand because he had a lousy time recording it.
That happens also, man. That happens. It's an energy attached to it, man.
There you go.
So it's like, this wasn't fun recording this shit. It was hard as hell to get it. You know what I'm saying? And, because actually Props was actually a different song. We had recorded it and we were like, nah, that ain't going to make the album.
Wow.
There's a different version. You can look it up. Like, you can YouTube it and find the other version. There's another version to that song out.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is now. I wish at the time we would have had better energy, and I think it would have did things would have did better for us on that album if we would have had you don't stop, you keep on, so many other joints, man. The Props remix, I love that shit. Hellraiser.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Hellraiser.
It's a fried chicken. We were gonna put out the fucking the joint with Pooh Bah, man.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Be a single, you know what I'm saying? And then you know what the fucked us too is we spent so much money doing that album. We were so over budget. It changed everything. I was telling my family about this, man, my wife and my son, how I can go back and pinpoint the time that life became serious for me. I remember Peter Kane coming into the studio and he was like, yo, you guys are like $200,000 over budget.
Wow.
There'll be no more beer in the studio. There'll be no more lockdown sessions where y'all just lock down the producer and everything for a week and nobody comes in the room and all of this shit. No more 6-packs, no more. Because I used to eat steak and broccoli every fucking day. every live eating that shit, man. I used to eat that every day, and we would have 6-packs of Heinekens and all of the shit, weed, ordering weed, car services to and from the studio. Wow. And we were literally, our budget for the album was $250 and we went 200 over. And I remember he got so serious because he was like, yo, shit is over. The game's over. It'll be no more any of this shit. And I was like, what? He's like, yo, y'all like 200 some thousand dollars budget. I was like, what? Shit changed for me, man. Wasn't fun in games no more. After it was like,
how far into the album were you at that point?
We had done a lot of songs. But we were doing a lot of shit. We would sit. But to me, when I look back at it, I'm like, damn, I don't see nothing really that we did wrong. I mean, spending the money on the food and the beer and all that shit all the time and smoking weed in the car. So, yeah. But as far as the recording process, man, it came out that way because we used to just listen to samples. Juju would come in with mad and play samples, and Les would come in and play samples, and I would really be the catalyst on like, yo, we using that, and yo, you're gonna rhyme 6 bars, you're gonna rhyme 4, and I'm gonna rhyme 6, and you rhyme 8, and you rhyme 8, then I'll come in 8 and 8, and then this person will come in. I wish I had those books to have some receipts on that shit, but I was the one doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really see nothing wrong with all of that shit. It was actually a dope recording process for me. It's just weren't focused on where we were spending, because we got a lot of shit and things would have been different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I gotta bring this up because it says here on You Don't Stop in parentheses it says dedicated to Sub Rock. Yeah, and so here I'm guessing you recorded this after he passed.
Yeah, it was after he passed. I really didn't know him like that. I had met him and them, I met them, but Lucian, who did You Don't Stop, produced that beat. We allowed him to produce a song on the album, and Lucian was real cool with them. You know what I mean? That's why on his song he dedicated. He wanted to dedicate that song to Sub and all that shit, man. But rest power to the brother, man. That was a crazy thing. I remember when that happened, man. It was like so sudden, and when shit like that happens, it like fucks people up, man. Young, out of nowhere. It wasn't like a sickness. Like we're expecting this dude to leave here. It was like, yo, hit car and boom, it's over. So finalist, it's crazy, and I don't even hit me. I can't speak to anybody else, but he didn't hit me the way it was because I hadn't experienced that much death around me at that time. With anybody close to me or anything. As the years went by, I did, so I can understand it even more now. But at the time, it was just that's fucked up. Damn, that's it was crazy, man.
Yeah.
But shout to him, shout to Doom, rest in power.
Yeah.
I was talking to Lucian a few months back, and he was telling me how Doom was coming to visit him in Paris from the UK and all that shit, and how that took him by surprise when Doom passed and all of that, and it's tough, man. It's tough.
All right, so everybody in the chat keeps asking. They want to know what is the album called?
Yeah, they stole my question. That was my question because I've always thought it was self-titled, but then in recent years, people are calling it Street Level.
No, even when it came out, because we took that photo, and I forgot what publication immediately called the Street Level because of that sign right there. And we we heard it and it fit. It was like, yo, why didn't we say that? What? Why didn't we say that shit? And it was just You know what I'm saying? It's like a subtitle. You know what I mean? Beatnuts, street level. It's definitely a part of the name. It's become, lore, whatever you want to, label it. It was originally the Beatnuts self-entitled album.
Gotcha.
But from that publication, I can't remember who it was, man. I don't think it was the guys that gave us 3.5 mics.
Blasphemy. Blasphemy.
Correct.
Fuck those guys.
Right.
Yeah, fuck those guys. What?
Yeah. But because when you read the review and then you look at it's like, yo, it doesn't match. And then they told us, so the people that give it the mics and the people that give it the review aren't the same people. I'm like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's definitely street level. It's definitely, it's definitely street level, man. It's definitely because that's what it,
Right. It's the perfect title for it.
It fits everything. Yeah, definitely, man. Definite.
How old were you when you were in the thick of it?
Well, recording that album, we were all early 20s, 23, 20, recording the EP 23, 22, 23, that album 23, 24, early 20s, early mid 20s, we were doing all that stuff, man. And like I said, hindsight being 2020, man, I wish I just had the business acumen to like really take advantage of all that shit. You know what I'm saying? To take advantage of relationships. That's one thing I didn't do because we came from this whole thing of and that wasn't my way of being like this super hard and standoffish. You know what I'm saying? That really wasn't me. You know what I mean? By the time I came home from jail, the group had taken on a different identity. And it wasn't, who I was. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm more a gregarious person. I'm more a people person. I'm in and out. And I want to meet everybody. I want to know and that. And it was like, I'll tell you a story real quick, man. This is epitomizes it all. One of the first shows I did when I came home from jail, we performed at Howard's Homecoming. It was in a 10,000 seat, like their armory or something down in DC, right?
Okay.
It's Ice Cube, Onyx, The Boss, that female rap, Fat Joe, Common, us. It was close to 10 acts. I remember Biggie was there. Now, mind you, Biggie is my favorite, right? He's my favorite. He was my favorite when I heard him. When I heard Bullshit and Party, when I came home, my cousin played it for me. I was like, yo, who the fuck is this dude, man? Like, who is this? Like, I just was so taken aback by him. I was really, and we're backstage, me and Les are smoking, Les and I smoking. And Biggie comes up to me and he goes, yo, you got some more of that? Where that at? You got some more of that? And I looked at Les and Les was like, nah. Sticking with that persona of standoffish and Willie's ill. And I was like, nah, man, my man ain't got no more, man. Yo, bro. Anytime I think about that shit, it breaks my heart, man.
Jeez.
Think about it, because it's like, yo, I could have smoked a blunt with Big, man.
Yeah.
He and I were cool, man. Because I know what type of person I am. We would have been cool, man.
Yeah.
People with situations like that. I remember chilling with Meth. I mean, Ye. You know what I'm saying? Even though Ye was after I was already out of the Beatnuts, but I still had this thing of just a learned behavior of not being too focused on my business and all that shit. Mm-hmm. So I didn't cultivate the relationship I had with him. The relationship I had with Common, I let it go. You know what I'm saying? Hindsight is a motherfucker. Kicks us in the ass, man.
I got one more question about the street level era, if you will.
Yes, sir.
The song "Fluid." Why did it not? What was it after the album, or why was it on the album?
It was during the album. I believe Vic produced that song. He was basically a member of the Beatnuts.
Yeah.
And I think don't bet money on this, but I think it was that we couldn't get it cleared.
Okay.
I think we couldn't get the main sample in it cleared, and Relativity put it out anyway. It's like a promotional record.
Yeah.
And then somebody took that and they were selling the shit out of that shit.
Yeah.
And I remember it went to Japan. I remember we were in Japan and we saw it out there for selling. Was like, yo, get the fuck. They're selling this shit. This is crazy, man. But yeah, Fluid was the shit, man. And that's another song that would have been our single.
Yeah.
That would have been a single. That was gonna be, because that fit everything. It was in the tone and in that same in that same neighborhood of Props Over Here with the bass line and all that shit. It was melodic and everything.
Yeah.
And that would have been our single. If we would have cleared that song, that would have been our single, man. Without a doubt. And then we could have went on from there, man. Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all know the song called Let Off a Couple on the album?
Oh, of course.
How's that song to you?
Oh my God, it's just it's not long enough. You know?
Yeah.
It's not long, but I will say the beauty of that song is that I got no problem. Like, you know what? I'm gonna listen to that again. When it's done.
I always wanted to make that. I'm glad that's what you feel. I always wanted to make that. Well, as soon as I heard, and I'm gonna real quick, I heard Rakim do Microphone, right? No hook, just straight rhyming, and it was like it went into the rhymes, and then comes back, and then it ends. It's like it's over before you know it. You know what I'm saying? The song is shorter than that song, but I had that in mind. I was like, yo, man, I want to do a song where people just I want to rewind it. I want to rewind it. I want to rewind it, and it's dope. It's to the point. No hook. I kill it, then Juju. I mean, less than Jew, and I love that, man. I just wanted to ask you to see if y'all felt like I felt.
Oh no, Let Off a Couple is I mean, it is a standout in an album full of standouts. I mean, like I said, for me, it's a perfect record. It really is. There's no skips. And in fact, I'll sit there and listen to it all the way until the belch at the very end. So, it's like it's not over. It's not over until we hear the belch.
Right.
So,
well, I see somebody said the static even sounds amazing.
Hell yes. Yep. Ultra Mag says fried chicken is his joint. Fried chicken is dope.
Oh, fried chicken, man. Yep. That's another joint that we were like, yo, put that shit out. Here I on the drum, but yo, but that shit to get you numb. Open up, huh? I just want to see, and then shoot the scene, man. Oh my God. Well, hopefully we'll be performing those songs together real soon, man. I've been trying my best to myself, some other people have tried to get Jew on board to do something with all of us. I have some projects coming out this year, and they just re-released my solo album. This company HHV in Germany released it.
Sold out.
Yeah, sold out. It did real well. You know what I'm saying? And I got a project that I've been working on.
Oh shit! Oh yeah! Oh shit!
Yeah! I got the OG. So
dope.
Yeah, I got the OG.
So we might, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed on this. I'm putting all good vibes that I can, that we can get Juju to do this. So hopefully he'll understand that it's something that the people want to see, the fans of ours want to see. They would love to see it. We can expose ourselves to some, to a new audience and everything. So I'm doing my best to make a good project so that I kind of force Juju's hand. You know what I'm saying? The project is so good that he's like, yo, fuck it, I gotta come out here and do this shit. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we're talking this year.
Yeah.
Is what, 30 years for Intoxicated Demons?
Yeah,
right?
Intoxicated Demons, 30 years. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then this will be 30 next year. So
Yep.
street level. Wow. Jeez, man. Damn.
Yeah. That's
Damn it.
like yesterday. That shit is crazy because it seems like yesterday, man.
I know, right?
For real, man.
Yeah.
For real. I remember everything. Like that shit was like it just happened. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy that I've been listening to that album for 30 years. Because it doesn't seem right, you know?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Look, let me ask
you.
the lady up here. I'm sorry, I can't see your name up here.
Oh, that's Jennifer.
Jennifer, are you a fan? At least a little bit.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. All right.
At least a little bit.
Because I heard the fella started. He was like, "All right, here we go," and I was like, oh.
No, it's the pissing contest between these two below me.
It's
like, oh, you mean this album? Oh, you mean, but
it's not even a pissing contest. We're just, we just love to show off the collection. That's
like, oh God, let the games begin. Here we go.
Black music that has stood the test of time a little bit, and that so many people enjoyed and have good memories around. I love. I'm not really Instagram, like I like looking at stuff, but like posting all that stuff, I do it, because I feel like I have to almost, just to stay relevant or to to give the people that follow me something. But to see people's comments, man, and you post something and they go, y'all remember that, and I was here, and I remember what I was doing that day when this happened. And I had one brother tell me, he was like, yo, man, you don't even know. And this really fucked me up. This is what made me be like, damn, you have to respect the influence that you have and the position you have. He was like, yo, I started wearing my beard. Me and my friends in school, we saw you and that album came out, and they were talking about the Nirvana shirt picture, and they were like, yo, the way you looked and your beard, like we all started connecting our beard and wearing our beards. And I was like, fuck.
Wow.
Like, your facial hair, like I had it's on the way you wear your facial hair. I'm happy that I can be a part of it, man. Be a part of this game. It's something that nobody can take, away, me or the fellas, man. And just so happy that we made something you guys enjoyed. Hopefully, we can do at least one more project. I like to end it on a good note.
Right.
That would be great.
I would love to know. Yeah, Les had given me a bunch of beats last year, and I already started recording some of his stuff. And we had some people, like, yo, if the three of y'all get on the album, we'll give y'all X amount of dollars and we'll do this and we'll do that. But the other gentleman, for whatever his reasons are, and I respect whatever his reasons are, what I'm saying? We haven't been able to talk him into it yet. But hopefully, if the Most High is willing, if the energy is right, we can get him to do it and we can get this thing off the right way.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Yeah,
And
Knackhorst, what the hell did I ever do to you? What the hell?
What happened?
Show it.
Knackhorst said Jenny prefers joints like Lick the Pea.
Oh. Sorry I did that. I hope I didn't offend any women.
Watch your ass, Knackword. Seriously, watch your ass. Fuck around and find out.
Yeah. Jenny don't play.
You're trying to be PG. All
right.
right.
So we got to jump back to this. We got to jump back to God Connections.
Yes,
so facilitated a name change.
Yeah. Well, actually, that happened before that.
Okay.
I had been studying Islam for a second, and one day in '95, I just woke up one day, was like, yo, I'm going to take my shahada. And the day I went to take my shahada, I took it at the masjid on 96th Street, which was funded by Gaddafi, and the Gold Dome Masjid. And when I went there was like hella security out there. And they were stopping everybody that was coming up, and they were like, you know, what do you want, brother? What are you coming here today for? And I said, I want to take my shahada. You know, that's when you declare your faith to Islam, and you know, you get your name changed and all this. And the brother said to me, he said, yo, you came on a great day. This is a lucky day for you. And I was like, why? You know what I'm saying? He said, because Dr. Osman is here from Ethiopia. He's been on sabbatical here for a month, and today is his last day. He's leaving to go back home tomorrow, and he's gonna you know, transition you and everything. And I went in. Now the funny thing is, I had a good friend by the name of Ishmael, and I was at Ishmael's house one day. His mother kept calling him Al'Tariq, Al'Tariq, Tariq, Tariq, and I was like, yo, what is your mother saying? You know, I had never heard this name before. And I said, why are you calling Ishmael that? And she was like, that's his name. His name is Ishmael Al-Tariq. And I was like, word, that's yo Ish. Why you don't say that name? That name is crazy, bro. And she was like, he don't like it. He don't like me calling him that. He don't want me to say it out in front of nobody. And I was like, yo, Ish, you bugging. That name is hard, man. So fast forward, I'm taking my shahada. And it was one of the few times in my life where everything was like standing still. It was slow. It was like, you know, it was an ill time for me. And I finished declaring my faith, and Dr. Osman said to me, he said, do you have a name, brother? And I said, no, I don't. And he said, your name is Tariq Saifuddin. And I was like, what? And he showed it to me, and it was Tariq.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
He didn't name me Al-Tariq. He named me Tariq Saifuddin, Tariq Saifuddin. And he said, I said, you know, what does that mean? He said, no, I want you to find out what it means. It took me about 5 years to find out what it meant. 5-6 years to find out what it meant. But what it means is the way shower, the guide to the way. I had asked so many Muslims what that means, and they said I never heard that put together like that. You know, because of what Tariq is the guiding star. Saifuddin is the word of Allah, and you know what I'm saying. They had never. But then I asked the Sheikh in like 2000. My brother who's passed away right now. We were, you know, we always used to battle about who's the Mahdi, who's Esau, who's this and who's that. You know, in the Islamic faith, these are all things and people. So he had been in jail for a long time, and he was calling his imam, you know, the exalted preacher, you know, like a rabbi or, you know, a deacon or something like that. And he says, he said, you tell my brother what my name means. He said, Abdullah is like the best friend of Allah. That's a high name to have, that name Abdullah. And I felt down. I was like, damn, he fucking got me, man. He was like, what's your name, brother? And I said, my name is Tariq, you know, Saifuddin. He said, what? I said, Tariq Saifuddin. He said, brother. He said, let me tell you something right now. My wife is pregnant with my son. I'm naming my son after you.
Wow.
It's my word to everything. So I'm naming my son after you. He said, yo, that name. And then he told me, he said, that name. And he said, you're the way shower. You're the one that guides people to the word of Allah and to the way to be on this planet and all that shit. And I was like, holy shit. I was real happy that my name was like more exalted than
Right.
it gave me that was a real big day. It gave me a lot to live up to, man. A lot to live up to. It changed a lot for me that day when he said that to me, man. I felt like I had to do something other than the shit that I was doing.
Yeah. But so at this point, you're after street level. Did you tour for that record?
What? We tore our asses off, man.
That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Crazy. We did a crazy we did a college tour with and then we did the Best of the Underground with Organized Confusion, Artifacts, the Beatnuts, and Common Sense.
Wow. Damn.
You know, you hear me, I talk about that on Think Not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I talk about doing the tour, and I talk about Common and, you know, meeting, you know, going to meet people he was in college with, girls that he had went to school with. I think the fam and all that. Yeah. But we toured, we did that crazy tour, and then, you know, Drew and I were just button heads so much, man. It was so much that I didn't agree with, stuff he was doing. And I'm pretty sure he didn't, agree with me, because I'm like I said, it was really Juju's group. He
Right.
was the one that met the Jungle Brothers first. He knew all of these guys and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like, let's let him have that position of like, yo, this is your thing. But my thing was, yo, when I came from jail, these dudes told me y'all got the deal because of me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it ain't your group. It's, if anything, it's our group. You know what I mean? And we all, we stayed bumping heads, man. Some young dumb shit where we really, if we would have, now that would never happen.
Yeah.
Now I would know how to, be diplomatic and make things work. You know what I'm saying? At that time, ego, alphas, we it was just, and I was like, yo, fuck it, I'm out of the group anyway, my nigga. I'm out of here. And I hear a lot of people saying, yo, they kicked you out. No, they didn't kick me out. I actually signed out of the group. I signed paperwork. And that was another dumb thing, that I won't use the Beatnut name to promote anything I was doing and blah blah blah. Yeah, I signed all of that shit, man, because Relativity or Sony, they weren't the happiest that I was leaving the group.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I did that and went and got a deal with Correct Records almost immediately.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but then the producers on the record, you have the Beatnuts. So
I mean,
so
look,
I guess it wasn't that bad.
Les and I always were good, man. Les and I hang out. I mean, away from music, hanging out, getting drunk. We used to do some not so, good things. You know what I'm saying? Running around in Queens and all that shit back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I can remember being drunk and sleeping on the street. And Les sitting there next to me, like, yo, motherfucker, you got to get up. The sun is coming up, like, yo, and I'm like, man, nigga, like, we drunk so many 40s and hopping to go get in clubs and like seeing people, and then we was like, yo, what are y'all doing? And we like, yeah, we out here walking around with a radio and all that shit. I remember when I first heard that the police had gone to my aunt's house to look for me before I went to jail, before I turned myself in. I was in Les's basement, his mother's house, in the basement. You know what I'm saying? We were down there fucking with music, getting high, drinking and shit. And I called the girl up in Peekskill. What's up? She was like, where you at? I'm like, I'm in Queens. She was like, don't come home. The police went to your aunt's house, to Stan Dean's house. Like, yo, you going to jail.
Oh,
like,
wow.
What? Yeah, that's what I want to hear. All right. Word. But yeah, we did a lot of touring for that, man. We did a whole run around the US in in these like tour vans.
Oh wow.
Yeah, me and Elder Sensei was just talking about that not too long ago, man. How like I remember Elle and them left, and then Organized had an accident in their van, and it was crazy, man. It was crazy, but we pulled it off though. It was real dope. It was real dope.
So you got so you're cool, and you get them to do production on the bulk of this,
Yeah,
because
they did. I think Vic did maybe 2 or 3 things. I know he did.
Right.
He did with 3 joints. No ID did 1 joint that I really love. Everybody talking, and most of it was less. Lucian did a joint.
Mm-hmm.
Lucian did the first single actually, and then Juju did a joint. He did Peace I Key, and then the rest was less. The rest of Les, that was my partner, man. Me and Les was, that was my dude, man. That was my dude. You know what I'm saying? Time has drawn us apart somewhat, you know what I mean? But that was always my dude, man.
I always felt like this was the proper follow-up to Street Level as far as Beatnuts records go. Because I'm not a huge fan of Stone Crazy. It's okay to me, but like when I heard this album, I was like, oh, yo, they're back. You know,
But Stone Crazy has fucking Off the Books on it.
right? That's like off the books and is like it for me.
Grace,
maybe give me that ass because it's hilarious, but you know, but this record like was the closest I thought.
Look, you want to hear something funny? I played some of the stuff that we were doing for Sony, right?
Okay.
Before I got to correct, and Sony said, "Yo, we're not gonna pay him to do another Beatnut album."
What?
Exactly. They were like, "Yo, we're not gonna pay for another Beatnut album. Like, we got them already. They're signed. If he want to do something, he got to do something. You know, whatever they said." But that was what you're saying that you liked about it is what they said. No, we're not gonna do that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Fools.
Crazy.
But so signing to correct though, because at the time, you know, they were working with what
Man,
was
first group they had, I believe, Managed.
Yeah.
At Gravity.
But I was gonna say Gravity, yes, and Gravity a lot of his record was produced by a very young Kanye West.
Kanye, yeah. One of Ye's first joints with anybody of notoriety. I love saying this. I'm on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I remember meeting him. But the first day I met him, walking to the studio, and he's a young kid, wide-eyed, and he's like, yo, your album, and I'm thinking he's blowing smoke up my ass. I'm like, oh, this nigga just, he wants. I'm like, so I'm like quizzing him. I'm like, yeah, what about this song? And he's telling me, I'm like, yo, what am I talking about on Foxy Brown? He said, yo, you use all the blaxploitation movies in that, and then he's reciting this and saying that. Then he's asking me, yo, what made you use the King of New York shit in Crime Pays, yo? Who thought of that? Who did that? And I'm like, yo. You know what I'm saying? So I really took a liking to him off top, man. And then let me tell you, that day we went in the studio, right? Kanye, this is how he's so. I tell people, man, the way he is the way he is. It's not an act. I had on these sneakers that they had at the time they had did a Gatorade commercial. I don't know if Jordan was in between. He was out of his contract with Gatorade and he hadn't signed or whatever. But if you can look this up, they had like a silhouette of a dude who looked like Jordan through the whole Gatorade commercial, but they never showed his face. And then he was sitting on the bench drinking Gatorade in a pair of Nikes, but they weren't Air Jordans. There was some black Nikes with a white stripe, and they were different. So I found those sneakers. In Harlem, and I had them shits. So I was with Abdul, that I say is like my brother, rest in power. And Abdul, we in the studio. Abdul's like, yo, look, my brother got the Nikes on from the Gatorade commercial. Yo, niggas can't find him. My brother got the Nikes on. So everybody's standing around, and Little Ray and them and grabbing them. They like sneakerheads. So they like, oh shit, you found them shits, yo. Yo, I remember Kanye comes through the circle, goes in. Now, mind you, fucking 20 minutes ago, he's giving me all this praise for my album.
Right.
He comes through the circle, looks at the shits. He's like, yo, them shits is whack, yo. I don't like I was like, yo, this fucking little kid, man. You know what I mean? But like I said, always somebody that would speak his mind, man. Always. It was crazy. I knew it from that day.
He's like, your sneakers are whack. In 20 years, I'm going to design sneakers that look like garbage bags, Right?
Made a lot of money, man.
Yes, he did.
He made a lot. He made a lot
He's
of
still
money.
making money.
He's still making money. Yep.
Exactly.
Real quick, I gotta ask. My dude Headsnack asked. He wants to know, when you first heard the beat to "Do Yo Thing," did your head explode like his did? So,
yo, I heard that beat. Like I said, Lucian did that beat, and I think he did, speaking of Spectacular too. Spectacular, he did that beat also. And he was playing me a bunch of beats, and when I heard "Do Your Thing," I was like, "Yo, hold up! I'm using that beat. That's mine. I don't care who else wants it. Whatever. However much you want to pay you for it, I'm getting that word, man. I'm definitely like, yeah. Papa Lou is my man. Shout out to Lucy. I hope I see him soon, man.
Yes. Shout out
yeah,
to Lucian. Yep.
crazy.
Indeed.
I wish I'd have made a better video for it. I wish I was more in tune with what I had to do, but I wasn't. Yeah, wasn't. I was like, that's all I really. When I became a soloist, I'm really thinking like, oh, the stage is mine now by myself. No one. I'm getting all the money. I'm getting all of it. I ain't competing with nobody, man. Crazy, bro. Crazy.
The last thing I gotta ask about is
Yeah.
that on that record you had a
Mhm.
joint too that featured Black Attack and Problems is on that record too, right?
Which one?
On the
Sexy Lies, the song with Black is on there, and Butter from Narcotics. Spectacular has My Whole God Connection on it, the whole crew.
Right. Okay.
Then Black Probs is on the hook for Think Not. You know what I'm saying? Those are my dudes. Shout out to Problems and Black Attack, Sean Boston, Kevin Killings. Those are my two dudes. I love them to death. Those are my two little brothers, man. Two little brothers for life, man. For life.
And so a couple years later, you guys cut a record called MIA.
Missin Linx.
Missin Linx.
Oh.
Yeah, gotta pull it out. Yep.
Oh, you got this. Yo, check this out. Do you know I just talked to Dante about that shit today?
Did you?
Really?
Yes, because somebody wants to re-release that shit.
Oh,
Word.
I gave them we're gonna put like about 5 more songs on it, including the Prodigy Rest in Power version that Alchemist did of Family Ties.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we're gonna put that on. We're gonna re-release that. Well, it's gonna be a different, release now because it's gonna be a full length.
Right.
But I was just asking Dante Ross, shout out to Dante, if we could use that. And he would. Now that only was supposed to be released. Whatever you have right there, is not officially released from Stimulated.
Oh,
because that album never came out from Stimulated. We had problems when that album came out. Dante was in the middle of doing Whitey Ford Sings the Blues,
right,
and Santana. He was producing the Santana album. So the Stimulated thing was like his label only in the sense that it was his label.
Yeah.
And he had it as a something that allowed him to Rifkin and all of them, under Steve and everything. But
Right.
Dante, he really wasn't like into that shit at the time. You know what I'm saying? We were supposed to be his next 3-man group behind Brand Nubians, Leaders of the New School, and then Missin Linx. But he was so, and at the time I was mad at him, and that kind of like fucked our relationship up for a minute. Because, Dante and I knew each other outside of music, you know what I'm saying? Lower East Side shit and all that, hanging out and, girls. And,
it's a common theme.
Yeah. But I was so upset. But then I look back and I'm like, yo, this guy was doing shit that was multi-platinum. Like, that Whitey Ford's Eric's album, I'm saying, was huge.
Yeah.
It was huge. That Santana album was huge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He had no time to focus on us. So I just said to him, I said, yo, Dante, they released that shit. Somebody from China, Japan, and released it commercially. He said, I never even knew it was released commercially.
Wow.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't put that out. We had like a bad breakup. We never put out a video from that album or anything. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we did that. And then again, real quick, that has a song, MIA, which Fat Beats first. Shout out to Fat Beats and Joe and all those dudes over there. Thank you for the opportunity. We did Missin in Action, and I remember us going to LA and we were on the Baker Boys show. I don't know if they're still on the radio out there, but they were big on the radio at the time. And we went out there and they were like, yo, you know, this song is blowing up and this song is crazy and blah, 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 blah. They were like, yo, we played it one night and Dre called up to the station. He was like, and he's like, yeah, Dr. Dre, like they called up him and his people's like, yo, who the fuck is that? What song is that? And we like, what? Get the fuck out of here. And he's like, I told him that's Fashion from the Beatnuts. He has a new group. He's Al'Tariq. His group is Missin Linx. Dre is like, all right, bet. Click.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know what happened next.
Damn it.
Yeah.
And look, there's a documentary by my man Mark B. He passed away. He was a DJ and producer from London. Rest in power to Mark. That was my man. Shout out to Mark B. And Mark B did an award-winning documentary about big artists jacking songs from not known artists. And the focal point of the documentary is Dre and everything he went through, how Vic had bought the record for that, because Vic produced that, VIC, the mighty VIC. That. And Dre went to those people that Vic bought the record from and got them to sell him the record. It was a whole big thing. It's an ill documentary. I can't call the name right now. It slips. I can't think of the name of the documentary, but he has a documentary out about that. It's a crazy thing, man. But I also felt like honored for that. You know, there were people that were super mad about that. You know what I mean? They were super mad, like, how the fuck you gonna jack your beat? And I was like, yo.
I remember because I heard that, you know, because my DJ, Ike, Prez Ike, shout out to President Ike, played it for me. He's like, yo, you got to check out. He's like, you know, Al'Tariq got this new group, Missin Linx. You got to check out the song. You're going to, you know, MIA. And he played it for me. I was like, yo, that shit is fucking right. And then when Dre's shit came out, I was like, hey, wait a minute, yo. Wait, what is going on here? I'm like, come on, son.
Man, shit on him. That song is hard, man. Hold up. Hey, he did some different shit, but he made that shit radio. That shit. Our shit is more raw, more underground, more gutter. You know what I'm saying?
Is.
But yeah, he killed that shit, man. He definitely killed it. But I was honored by that. I was honored that he actually called up and said, who was this? Who did that record?
Wow. Crazy. Crazy stuff. So, Al, what do you got coming up?
I have The Godly. It's a follow-up to the God Connection. I was going to do a bunch of projects with all these producers, and VIC was the first one. We're going to do this thing called Mighty and the King, like EPs produced by all of them. And then when I was doing the EP, HHV, Fat Philly, shout out to Fat Philly. He was the liaison between myself and HHV. He made it happen. He was like, yo, man, you know, you never did a follow-up to your album. You got all these projects, all these songs. Why don't you put them together for that? So I got the Godly, like parts 1, 2, and 3 that I'm putting out. I have so many songs to it. DJ Enoch, you know, Dr. Butcher's executive producing. Vic has helped me executive produce. I got these producers from New York. Stay tuned. Some brothers that were down with me from the God Connection days that are going to be doing stuff for me. It's a real, like, I really going on. I like, you know, I really enjoy listening to my own shit. And that's something, because such a, you know, a critic of my own shit, that it amazes me that I can sit back and listen to the shit I did, and I'm like, damn, I got a joint with Sadat. It was supposed to be on Enoch's project, but I'm gonna wind up using it on mine. That came out, you know, as dope. Yeah, I got some fly shit, man. So that I'm looking to start releasing stuff like early June from that.
Okay.
Excuse me. And you know, I'm gonna be putting it out probably by myself, you know what I'm saying? Doing a whole vinyl run on it and everything. And
nice.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. So y'all can look forward to that. The Godly parts 1, 2, and 3. And thank you so much for having me, guys.
Oh man, thank you for
my man up top hasn't talked that much, but up there.
I try to get a word in edgewise, but you know.
I'll see you up there, man.
Why don't you tell us what WAE Entertainment is?
Oh, is We Are Evolving. This is something that I have. This is what music is going to come out under. I don't want to be too much. I know you're not supposed to talk about things until they happen, but I have something in the works for my kids and myself. I have some artists in the family, some singers, some writers, some regular artists, some just smart motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So we have something that we're doing right now. So that's the umbrella. Everything will be underway. We are evolving entertainment.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Flatline, any other questions?
Man, that's it. It's been a real pleasure.
Yeah.
Not a T-shirt or a pin or a bobblehead doll.
No. I mean, I ran and grabbed some more props, but I'm good.
Funko Pop.
What you got? What you got?
Well, I was curious about your work with this man
with Honda.
And that shit is
shout out to Honda.
Incredible.
Honda was big for us. Honda kept us going at times. Nothing but love to him. We hit each other sometimes on Instagram. Hopefully I'll get out to Japan with these new projects and all that stuff. So big shout to him. It was awesome working with him. Awesome. Especially at the end when he was like not on Sony anymore and he was doing a lot of shit on his own. And he was taking myself and Missin Linx and Narcotics and S-On and all these guys, to Japan and Singapore and all of the Philippines and all that shit. So big shout out to Honda. Awesome working on this shit. Awesome doing that, the Lottie Dottie on the mic joint with Cuban and Ali Lyrical. Shout out to Ali, shout out to Cuban. Being a video with Pun, it was an honor. You know what I'm saying? Such a good dude, man. So down to earth, you would never believe it. You would never believe it, man. That persona that he was, for that people knew him as a regular fan, the way he was behind. Now, not saying he was soft or nothing. He was still an ill dude, but he was just a real good dude. To walk up to that video set and he's like, "Yo, what up, Tariq?" You know what I'm saying? It was like, all right. My man respects the name, respects the handle, and all that shit. Yeah, he was a good dude. It was an awesome thing. I shot Honda, and I thank him for everything, man. For everything he did for us, definitely.
Fantastic. Yeah, thank you for being with us tonight, Al'Tariq. Appreciate it. We can't wait for the new music, and we'll be looking forward to it.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Thanks for the opportunity. And I'll reach back out to you when I got this new music. I'll send you some snippets. Maybe we can, talk for a short amount of time. Not this long, but for a short amount of time. I won't take up too much of your time and just play something.
Nah, man. Any time. Yeah, and we get it to Flatline because he'll get it into rotation on the Hip Hop Gods.
So, all right. I bet. So I'm gonna talk to you about that. Definitely.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Thank you, man. Thank all of you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
And I hope y'all love the new shit.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Looking forward to it.
Peace.
All right, peace.
I love y'all. Peace.
Peace. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic stuff.
Man.
Wow.
Man.
I know, right?
Man.
Y'all need to put this entire episode in your spank bank.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe not. It's not like that. It's not like that.
I went and even grabbed this too.
Oh shit!
Ew.
Shit!
What's that?
Did you buy that when it first came out? Because it's really hard to find now.
No, I found it digging.
Wow.
And it's funny. I was just looking through it now, and everything is produced by Kanye. It's not Kanye West.
Yeah. Yep.
And Newmark's on there too. That's early
really?
Newmark.
See, I think I only have a rip of that because you can't find that record, man. You can't find that album.
Dope. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah, Ultramag, you let us know, and we will.
Oh yeah,
have a nerd out.
Absolutely.
Yep. Anytime you want. Come on, Jen.
Come on, Jennifer.
Y'all should host a like you all have your collections. You have people come on the show to see if they have more than you all.
Oh, I'm sure there's a ton of people that do, but It's all the weird eclectic shit. So,
Knackwurst and Hype Style both want to know what the hell was that CD you just flashed?
The Gravity album.
Down.
It came out on Correct Records right around the same time that Al'Tariq's God Connection came out.
Yep.
So they were label mates. That was Kanye's first production.
I believe so. Yeah.
What year was that?
96, 5 or 6. I think it was 96, right?
I think I might need glasses, but I think it's 96.
Yeah, I think so.
I will not stop, Ultramag. Just you stop.
What is going on?
Okay,
no,
Stetsasonic Fallen Soldiers check.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
haven't
let's do
done
it.
that. Yep.
17,726.
Nice. Fantastic.
And did anybody see what happened a couple of days ago? Did
I saw.
anybody see any pictures?
Yep, I did. Stetsasonic rehearsing, Prince Paul on the drums.
Prince Paul was there.
Yeah, that's
For Unsung.
For Unsung.
Stetsasonic Unsung.
Oh, wow.
Coming soon.
Yep.
Dope.
Yep.
Since they posted it, we can talk about it now.
Right. Yeah. Now
Yeah.
that the cat's out of the bag.
We've known for a while that it was happening, but yeah, they posted it, so it's official.
That's cool.
But Paul was there.
But Paul was there, yes.
So excited.
Yeah, fantastic. And all of that great music can be found, released by the Spit Slam record label group.
The Spit Slam record label group, a Chuck D situation. Catch us on your favorite streaming platform, on Bandcamp, or visit our official web store at spitslamrecords.com. All releases are available digitally or on CD, with select titles available on vinyl and cassette. The Spit Slam record label group. Throwback to the future sound.
Yes, Paul is a sucker. The Spit Slam record label group is our label, and
maybe should be Al'Tariq's label too.
Hey,
Throwing it out there.
Right.
always willing to entertain an idea.
Pretty great idea.
Pretty great.
And
idea.
the person behind you is Flatline is getting a star on the Hollywood Walk
Yep,
of Fame
he
in
is.
the next couple of days.
Yeah. Are you gonna
Whenever
go see
that
it?
is.
You
the
gonna
new
go
Jack
see it?
Hustler.
I just might do that.
You should.
The new Jack Hustler.
It's pretty exciting.
What was I going to say? You can also, speaking of Spit Slam stuff and Rap Station, on Friday nights, there is the And You Don't Stop radio show hosted by Mr. Chuck D himself. And on that show, we have I have a spot, the Spit Slam Jam of the Week. And this week's Spit Slam Jam of the Week is Journey into Scratchin' by DJ Magic Mike, featuring Qbert and Craze. And it comes from the newly released album, Revenge of the DJ. And I'll play a little bit of that for everyone here. There we go. And we're not even to the scratching part yet.
No.
Yeah.
This is a journey into
Yes, indeed. So go check out the Revenge of the DJ album on your favorite streaming platform, or cop a CD from spitslamrecords.com. That song and 9 other fantastic joints. If you're into the DJ cutting and scratching kind of stuff. So give it up to the DJs.
It's a great album. I listened to it this week.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good.
A lot of good stuff on there. We got legends and new DJs alike. So some really good stuff. And in fact, we're going to be talking to them, some of those artists, in a couple of weeks. In 2 weeks. Yep. We're going to have the Revenge of the DJ episode. But next week, Flatline, we're going to be talking to...
Oh, man. Boston hip-hop legend, Acrobatic. My brother. I cannot wait. It's going to be great. Yes. He is... I mean, he's acrobatic. He's amazing. It's going to be great. It's going to be...
Yes. Can't wait.
Very excited.
Gonna be good stuff. Yes, and yes, Knackworth, that is a Teen Wolf approved CD right there. If anybody saw the picture that Knack took. So
thanks, Hype Style, for appreciating my dog.
Fantastic.
She is very well behaved and very cute.
My dog, on the other hand, is not, because she's bothering me because she wants to go out. So I guess I gotta end the show for you, Apollonia. Jeez.
Wow.
Apollonia says the show's over. But yeah, I guess the show's over anyway. So thanks everybody for joining us tonight. Thanks everybody watching live and joining us in the chat. Thanks to everybody watching us on the replay. And we will see everybody here again next week for another episode of It's C-Doc Again.
That's true.